Am I the asshole for throwing a cup of cold water on my naked husband? My husband has been tested for ADHD, but he doesn't have it. He has the kinds of problems that are associated with ADHD, however. He says writing lists, making a schedule, setting alarms, etc. is physically painful for him, and he'd rather just deal with occasional emergencies rather than be proactive. The specific problem? He often forgets to push the shower diverter valve down. You know, the little rod on the tub faucet that you push down to make water fill up the tub and you pull up to make the water come out of the shower? For nearly 20 fucking years, I have been asking him to push that down. Since I was literally a teenager, I've been asking him to push that fucking thing down. At least twice a month, I have a very unpleasant wake-up/cold shower because I turn the water on and I get a cold spray from the shower. And every fucking time he's apologetic, and then a week or two later, it happens again. He will do better for a while, and then he slips up again. He is always telling me that he's working on it. And hasn't he been better about it lately? But somehow he's always working on it, always improving, but it never fucking stops. Today, I just fucking had it. I stepped into the shower, turned it on, and had a very cold and rude awakening. I couldn't fucking take it anymore. I grabbed the cup by the sink and I filled it with about 3 inches with cold water and walked out to where he was standing naked. He had just taken off his pajamas and was going to take a shower after mine. Without warning, while he was looking down, I held the plastic cup firmly in my hand and grasping it tightly, I jerked that motherfucker in a 45-degree angle to get the cold water all over his torso and face. I told him that his apologies were worth the paper they were written on, and I was tired of listening to him congratulate himself for getting better when I had been asking for 20 fucking years to stop doing this shit. I told him I don't accept his apologies, and the fact that it's an accident does not excuse it. I told him that from now on, every time I'm taking a cold shower, so is he, that I refuse to be a second-class citizen in my own home any longer, and if he refuses to make changes to treat me better, I will instead make changes to treat him worse, because I will not tolerate this any longer. I'm going to continue to surprise throw a cold cup of water on him every time I get a surprise cold shower. I'm tired of fucking asking and begging for basic fucking respect and not getting it, with the implication that I have to fucking put up with this forever. So Reddit, I know I'm probably an asshole, but am I a justified asshole?
Not even close. I'm so fucking confused.
She hates this man.
Am I the asshole for judging the breakfast my husband makes for me? My husband and I had a baby around a month ago. Hubby is back at work and I'm on maternity leave. Lately, my husband is making me toast every morning as a little treat for me before he goes to work. And it's such a sweet gesture. All I've been craving post-pregnancy is peanut butter on toast. But the thing is, his toast, I can hardly call it that. He barely toasts it. The middle of the bread has only changed color very slightly, and the edges are still perfectly soft. It's warmed bread is what it is. Have you ever had slightly toasted toast? It's confusing. Be bread or be toast. But if you try to be both, then you're neither.
What?
While I do appreciate that he's making me a meal, I know in my heart that it's the thought that counts. I just want actually toasted toast back in my life, especially as it's all I'm craving. I've mentioned it several times in the last week or so that I don't mind making my own toast, but he insists on making the toast for me before he goes to work. And I eat the barely toasted toast because I don't like food waste if I can avoid it. But then, because I've eaten the barely toasted toast, it's too much food for me if I make myself a second piece of actual toast after he's left. So I don't get the toast taste I'm really craving. God damn. Take a drink every time she says the word toast. So the other day, when he was going to put the bread in the toaster, I asked him if he wouldn't mind leaving the bread in there just a little bit longer this time. He asked me if I didn't like his toast, and I said, no, I love that you're making me toast. I just wouldn't mind it a little bit toastier. He got a bit annoyed and said that he gets up early to make me my toast every morning, and now he felt like I didn't appreciate his toast. I said I did appreciate his toast, but
It's comical at this point. It's
appreciate it more if it was actually toast. Maybe I shouldn't have put it like that. But he told me I could make my own toast if I didn't think he was up for the task of toasting. I said I would. I think this hurt him even more. I feel like we've always asked for and given feedback on dishes we cooked for one another previously, so I thought it'd be okay. Should I have kept eating the bad toast? And am I the asshole for bringing it up to him?
God damn.
Am I the asshole for wanting to break up with him for being a good dad? Me, 30 female, and Kyle, 32 male, had been in what I thought was a good relationship for 3 years. He has children, and for privacy, I won't say anything about his children. He does have an ex-wife around our age, and she's alright. We aren't friends, but we get along, and she trusted me enough to ask me to do things if they couldn't. We were going to move in together, but obviously not anymore. It was on Father's Day that this happened. He spent his day with his kids, and I spent mine with my dad. Kyle texted me that he will always put his kids before me. Okay? Totally unprompted. I was confused. My dad asked me if anything happened, and I'm like, not that I know of. It was weird, and I didn't reply because, yeah, I know. You should. I'm still confused. We talk about it like the next day, and he just said that I needed to know. I'm like, yeah, but did I do anything? Did one of the kids say anything? Like, help me correct my behavior. Like, why did you say that when it's to be expected? I know he's a good dad that puts his kids first. It's why I wanted to have my own with him. He kept saying that I just need to know my place in his life, and I need to know the hierarchy. It was really weird, and there's been no resolution. Now when I try to talk about that, he gets angry and says I'm being petty or jealous, and I always knew the deal. It feels weird to say it, but it almost felt hurtful, like some type of passive-aggressive move, and he just wanted to start a fight or put me down. I've never done anything, and I have been respectful, so why say that? I know I don't come first in his life, and it never bothered me until he decided that I needed to know that from his own mouth. I'm rethinking the relationship and just removing myself from it. Not the asshole. Sounds like some weird passive-aggressive stuff to me as well. Did he spend Father's Day with his ex and the kids? If so, this might be where this is coming from. I would demand to know what he meant as well, and would probably break up if he wouldn't explain. And Opie responded, I don't think he was with her, but I'm like shaking right now. I never thought he could be cheating on me with the woman he divorced. He just said he's spending the day with the kids, but I lost details of the day because of the text.
That's gross.
Okay, so update. I dumped him. I tried again for the 100th time to talk to him. What prompted him to say that? What did I do? He just got angry and said I need to know my place, and why do I have a problem with it when I knew he was a dad going into this? Same old line like he's been saying for the past week. I asked if he was cheating on me with his ex, and I got called insecure, petty, crazy, and others, but I remember those. I didn't even bother asking about the hypothetical kids. I told him we're done, and he said he knew I couldn't handle it, and to stay away from dads next time. I blocked him, sent his ex a text letting her know, and she saw it but no reply, which is fine. She'll be blocked too if anything weird happens. I'm gonna miss the kids, and that's the weirdest part. They're just gone. The graduations, birthdays, and other milestones, gone. So yeah, no more dads for me. I can't say this was a learning experience, it just sucks.
Am I the arsehole for locking my sister out at my wedding because she brought her children? Storytime. So I'm 29 and female. I got married last weekend in the most beautiful venue, but we decided to have a really, really intimate ceremony, a really tight guest list, and there was one firm rule. No kids. Not because we hate them or anything. I really do love my nieces and nephews, but because the venue wasn't that child-friendly, there was lots of open water, fancy glassware, and sharp things around, and I just didn't want parents worrying or children being unsafe. How? Very considerate. I made it very, very clear on the invite. I sent it in group chats. I replied to texts with no seriously, leave your kids at home. Everyone respected this except my sister, Amy. Amy has 2 gorgeous little boys under 5. They are so cute, but very chaotic, and seem to be allergic to any form of discipline. She insisted she couldn't find a babysitter for them, and I offered to pay for one, but she declined. I reminded her again that it was a child-free event, and she said that she understood. Flash forward to the big day. I am in the most amazing bride dress. I'm getting ready with all of my girls, and I suddenly hear this chaos coming at the venue gates. Guess who had pulled up with her kids in matching tuxedos? I told my planner, do not let her in. Amy starts blowing up my phone after my wedding planner had spoken to her, saying that I was being cruel, that I'm making a scene, that her kids are basically family and should be allowed in. Well, no, when you got the invite nearly a year ago, Amy, you were told that they would not be allowed at the wedding for, let's say it, their own safety, to be honest. Now, at this point, my mum had started crying. My dad's asking why. My dad is asking if we have to make a thing of it. And Steve, my now husband, is mouthing, do you want to push things back 15 minutes to take time to sort everything out? I said no, that I'd said what I said, and that she would not be allowed into my wedding if she had her children with her. Amy left, and I got married without my sister there. The pictures were absolutely incredible, but now Amy's not speaking to me. My mum is calling me an absolute bridezilla, and that I put my wedding before family. So am I the arsehole for sticking to my own child-free rule, or did I go too far for locking my sister out of my wedding entirely? Honestly, I really don't regret it, and I have no qualms about doing it ever again, but I'm really upset that I may have lost my relationship with my sister. I do wonder if I could have handled it a little bit less daunting and not locked her out.
Am I the asshole for not letting my brother's fiance wear white to my wedding? Okay, so I, 28 female, just got married to my amazing husband, Jake, 30 male. The planning was stressful, but everything turned out beautiful. Or at least it would have, if not for the drama my brother's fiance, Erica, 26 female, caused. Erica is one bold, loud woman. She's the type who loves pushing the envelope as far as it would go, and which, typically, is rather fun until she pushes it to your detriment. A month before my wedding, Erica sent me a text stating to give a heads up that she wanted to wear a white gown on my wedding day. According to her, she considered it a modern trend and added that since she would not attract more attention than the bride herself, it did not matter. I was shocked. I told her tactfully, but firmly, that going to someone else's wedding in white is a serious faux pas. Erica shrugged off the comment and said, quote, "It's just a color. You are not even in pure white. You're wearing ivory," which was true, but not relevant in my mind. I tried to let it go, thinking perhaps she was playing a game with me. But then, a week before the wedding, my mom sent me a photo of Erica's dress. It wasn't just white. It was floor length, lacy, and absolutely bridal. I called Erica immediately and told her she needed to find something else to wear or she wouldn't be allowed in. She said I was being insecure and that it's 2024, women should be able to wear what they want. Later, my brother called me, Chris, 29 male, begging to let it go. He said Erica thought she was targeted and that she was in an uproar because I was ruining her experience. He said she has already spent a lot on the dress and that by now it's too late to get another one. In this case, I just stood firm and said if she shows up in that dress, she does not come in. Erica came out on the wedding day, dressed in white. My stomach was sinking at that point, but I had already warned my wedding coordinator of the potential situation. The wedding coordinator caught Erica at the door and said that either she changes out of that or get gone. Erica had a total fit in front of my guests, screaming that she is a bridezilla and jealous of her confidence. Chris stepped in, and that is how they both bailed. Now, my family is literally torn apart. My parents feel that Erica had overreached, but my brother says I humiliated them in public. Many of my other relatives go so far as to state that I overreacted and that I should have kept quiet for harmony's sake. It has been 2 weeks and Chris is not talking to me. Erica has made passive-aggressive comments everywhere on social media about insecure brides and toxic wedding culture. Sometimes I think I must have been an idiot for even thinking twice about this, and I should have just let her have the stupid dress. So, am I the bridezilla?
This is so dumb. I just hate it because you handled it perfectly from start to finish.
So good.
I'm so over the shit about, oh, you should just let these people walk all over you for harmony's sake. What the fuck do you mean?
For whose harmony's sake?
And why do we have to say it so much?
It's not.
Whose day is this?
It's not her wedding.